Tonight a story that I've been working on called Stoplight. This is just a little slice of it, but to give you guys some context, the narrator is a young woman on her way to visit her sister and nieces. She doesn't have a cell phone and is lost somewhere on the back roads of the Midwest. She gets stuck at a red light that won't change, so she decides to leave her car on the road and go into a nearby store, and it's the middle of the night. So this is Stoplight. With no alternative, I stepped into the convenience store and out of the top-heavy haze outside. It was deserted, of customers at least. A man sat behind the register, leaning over a photo album and stacks of pictures and Polaroids spread across the counter. Studying them, he didn't see me standing near the height strip by the door, myself barely reaching the 5'6" mark. "Excuse me," I said. "I tried using the payphone outside, but the connection died. Is there any way to fix it?" The clerk took a picture and placed it aside on the counter. Snorting, he turned his head. "What year is it?" He returned to his photographs. Not quite registering what the rude bastard had said, I tongued my cheek and stepped to the counter. "Can I use your phone?" "It's for employees only." I placed both hands on the counter. "Can I at least sit down somewhere?" The clerk slid a picture out from underneath my palm, glanced up at me with a raised eyebrow, and nodded at a folding chair leaning against the grill that slowly turned black and hot dogs around and around. "Is that your car out there?" he asked, gesturing toward my Jeep parked in the middle of the road. I grimaced and nodded. "The light won't change. I've been stuck here for," I checked my watch, 20 minutes now. "Why don't you just run the light?" I said I didn't know why. I wanted to wait it out until it turned green. We sat quietly for several minutes, listening to the whine of the grill and the hum of the refrigerators. I kept my eye on the stoplight outside, itching, willing, demanding that it change so I could race outside and speed away. This place was a dead end. "How much do you remember?" the clerk asked suddenly. "I'm sorry?" He stood up. "How much do you remember of your life?" I blinked at him. "All of it, I guess, or at least most of it." Holding a picture up, he glared almost angrily at figures in red party hats. "I'm not certain how much I remember. Like this, my 18th birthday. That's my grandma, my grandpa, dad, ma, and my brother." I inspected each figure as he pointed them out. "Why are you not in the photo? Isn't this your birthday?" "I took the picture," he said. "I'd wanted to make sure I remembered that day. We ate at DiMaggio's, the Italian joint down the road from my high school. I had spinach ravioli, my ma had a salad, and my grandpa, he closed his eyes and pressed them with his palms. I guess even then I was worried about forgetting things." He sighed. His face kept shifting, but I couldn't tell why. One moment he seemed like he was in his mid-20s, the next late 30s. Something about the lines beside his eyes, something about the angle of the light, something about the heavy haze permeating everything outside, the sky, the road, my Jeep, his memory. I didn't want to ask how old he was. "But if you have the picture, how can you say that you forgot?" The clerk set the photo aside and picked up another. "I didn't forget that it happened. I know it did. But I don't remember what it looked like, through my eyes." He looked up when I didn't respond. "What I mean is, do I remember that day because I can picture the party through my eyes, what I saw, or because I remember what the photo looks like?" I shook my head. The stoplight outside still hadn't changed, immovable, lighting up the haze like a firestorm. I was never going to leave. I was stuck, here with a mountainless horizon, here where no sane person would want to exist, here with a guy working a dead-end job and couldn't possibly have lived anything worth remembering. The clerk sat back down and slumped over the album, knocking several stacks of Polaroids to the floor. I regretted the disdain I had just held for him. I picked up the pictures and piled them on the counter, the clerk absent again in most of them. I knew I should say something, a compliment, a question. I didn't know. Finally, I opened my mouth. "You could take selfies." He didn't move. I reached over and tapped him on the shoulder. His eyes snapped open. "Does it really matter? As long as you do remember, does it really matter how you remember?" "Something just seems wrong about it. I see through my eyes, not pictures." I clenched my teeth. It felt like his choice to feel this way was carved in stone. "Maybe you have a photographic memory?" The clerk sat up, a picture sticking to his chin. He peeled it off and inspected it, turning it in his hands. "Is that what they mean when they say that?" I tried to picture my sister and I as kids racing around on the fire road in the brown foothills behind our house, but I couldn't. I tried to picture my nieces' faces, but they were lost to me. The haze must be interrupting my memory, too. Straining hard, I pressed my palms to my eyes, as I had seen the clerk do. I thought about the envelope at home, about the photo it contained sent to me by my sister. During my last visit, my nieces had wanted to do up my hair, placing bobby pins here and there, pink clips and hair ties. When they finished, my sister was laughing so much that she immediately snapped a picture with her phone. And there they were, on either side of me, two gleeful faces surrounded by blonde curly hair, one with a light dusting of freckles, the other with a beauty mark on her lip. I could see them on a 5x7 piece of glossy photo paper on my desk beside my mid-century lamp and an unwashed beer glass. The clerk was right. I didn't remember through my eyes. Thank you.
Jeff,